rainy day in Athens, Georgia. The University of Georgia Bulldogs will take on the Crimson Tide of Alabama, who lost last week, Arkansas, or the score
24-7.
Tight game, 24-17. Arkansas beat Alabama, and the conference was stood on its ear. Now Georgia in full control of the conference. We don't. What's the standings right now?
Technically third.
This game could still go a long way to deciding the SEC, as it always does when these two teams match up. We're almost underway. They're about to do the coin toss here in Athens, so let's get ready to play some football. A rainy day to play football, but it's always a good time to play Alabama. They haven't played too many games here. The last time I remember, back in '76, we beat them 21-0. There may have been another one in between. But a big game, Alabama Dogs, and we're about to kick off. Alabama will receive the kick. High, booming kick taken around the 10, fights his way in traffic, and they bring him down around the 35. So Alabama will take over the football to begin the game. Number 70, the center, 14 at quarterback, and 29 in the backfield.
It's really interesting to see this Alabama quarterback.
Hands off to the tailback, who smashed. Looked like Colbert in on the stop for Georgia.
See, that's the real key to Georgia's success is stopping the run. You can see they're first in yards allowed for the season, only 91 per game allowed, and several of their opponents have been held to negative yards rushing.
That time throwing over the top with a tight end, and it looks like he got it. But not enough for the first down. 3rd and 5 for Alabama. Opening series here in Athens. A road game for the Crimson Tide. They lost to Arkansas last week.
On the road. Second straight road game for the Tide.
Selma, the quarterback, drops back, rolls, throws, and incomplete.
The defensive end did a great job fighting through to the inside, bringing pressure up the middle there. Now right in his face as he threw. That's just textbook defense. The Georgia pass rush is tough to contain.
The defense for Georgia is good on all sides. Alabama with 4th and 5, and they will punt the football. Number 97, Wiggins, the punter for Alabama. He gets a good one off. He'll be taken around the 15. Gets a break. He's to the 40, the 50. Down the sideline he goes. Number 2 is going to score a touchdown.
Longest punt return in school history. 86 yards.
86 yards.
Brendan Boykin, you can't let him get into space, man. You let him get to the outside, and he's just too fast. You gotta contain a guy that fast.
You can't overlook a Boykin. But Alabama did, and now it's 7-0 Georgia.
Well, that is not how you want to start a football
when he gets to
at all.
Not the way, no.
Receive the kickoff, go 3 and out. Punt return touchdown. You're down 7-0. Just like that.
Just like that on a road game.
North Carolina takes down Miami, 36-33 in overtime. They moved to 3-1.
Miami
2-2.
Miami's 3-1.
No, North Carolina.
North Carolina 3-1. So the Dogs kick off again.
Special teams getting a lot of work right here for the Dogs.
This time Alabama tries to go right up the gut.
He almost slipped through there.
It looked like he was going to get a break, but he has stopped around a 34. So the Crimson Tide will try it again. Selma.
You have to do
shotgun.
something offensively here. Can't go 3 and out.
Oh, he
offense falls on it. That was that was close. That was really close.
Who was that number 4? Got shellacked behind the line of scrimmage and fumbled the football, but fell on it a potentially disastrous play, but Bama dodged a bullet that time. Selma, underneath, drops back 3 steps, throws across the middle. It's complete.
First down for the Tide.
10 yards, first down, Alabama. Trying to get some rhythm in the football game. It went the wrong way as they started this game, but now they have a first down. Georgia in a 5-man front. Selma underneath. Some movement in the Georgia defense. Backs up, throws down to the left side, incomplete.
Pass rush got right in space there.
A lot of pressure from Georgia on that front 4. Ball's on the 45-yard line. Second down, 10. Selma comes up. Again, underneath 29 in the backfield. 2 wideouts. Now he's shouting to people. Stomps his left foot and hands, no, fakes, throws incomplete. It was intended for the wide receiver rolling out on the right side. Overthrown badly.
That was a close one there. Georgia came up the middle with a blitz. Had nobody on the outside. If he could have hit that man in stride, that would have been some yardage.
Could have been a really good play, but he didn't come close to hitting it. Alabama, 3rd and 10. On the 45. Georgia in a 5-man front. Selma stops, throws down to the right side. Incomplete. 2 Georgia defenders were right there. The ball was thrown a little behind him. And that'll bring up 4th down for Alabama. He booms one. And Boykin has it, but this time they bring him down as soon as he caught it.
I should call for a fair catch there, Tom. That was almost a disaster for the Dogs.
So live and learn. Alabama, the same kind of punt for the same player. This time, you lost yard. So Georgia will put it in play. The Bulldogs featuring the SEC standout, Jalen Brody. Brody going to roll to his right and plants his feet, throws down the sideline. It's complete. Was that Massaquoi? First down 10 for Georgia. Jalen Brody leading the SEC in a lot of stats, filling in for an injured Matthew Stafford. Has done a good job. The Bulldogs are undefeated. Brody back, and they chase him and plant him on the ground. Loss, huge loss for the Bulldogs on that play. Number 83, LaRosa, in on the start for Alabama. The ball's on the 27-yard line. 2nd and 23. Brody from a shotgun. Lots of time. Gonna fire it down the flats, and it's incomplete. That was intended for Massaquoi. So, Jalen Brody, last couple of games, interceptions were a problem, but they've been working on that. The Georgia coaches have really been trying to get this kid to figure out where his stride can be.
He had a flawless game against Arizona State last week.
He certainly did. A 9th-ranked team. Brady dropping back to throw deep. It's complete. No, did he catch? I thought he caught it.
Jalen Brody slow to get up.
Brody is hurt. Brody slow to get up for Georgia. The pass was incomplete, right? 4th down, 23. Surely they'll bring the punt team in on that. And they do. Number 32 will punt for the Bulldogs. Gets it down to about the 28. And they fumbled it. But he got it back. It fell off his fingertips. He didn't call for a fair catch. Let's see if we can find out something about that and see if Jalen Brody, what exactly happened there. So far, it's been all Bulldogs as they have come on, and Alabama.
Brody's out for the game.
He's out for the game. Jalen Brody out for this football game.
Fractured elbow.
So we'll see what else the Dogs have in their arsenal.
Well, we might see Matt Stafford because as you know, it's his non-throwing shoulder that's injured. So maybe you take a risk and put him out, see what happens, see what he can do.
They may have to. Let's see what they. We'll have to keep our eye on that. Selma for Alabama has his work cut out for him. He's down 7-0. Hands it off to the running back who powers his way on the right side, but only got a couple of yards.
Perhaps the Dogs might need to rely on Marino today and see if maybe he can carry them on the ground a little bit.
Well, I don't.
That's a big blow for the Georgia fans, I'm sure.
Stafford down and now Brody down.
Biggest game of the year. Unfortunate.
Very unfortunate. Ball's on the 19. Selma hands it off to the tailback who powers his way between the tackles and gets maybe 3. Pick up a 4. Ball's on the 23-yard line. Alabama needs to get some offensive rhythm. It seems like they really haven't even showed up yet. From the shotgun, Selma takes a shot down the right side. He may have caught it, but they may have been out of bounds. Incomplete as he was out of bounds. And once again, Alabama will have a 4th down. Good defense by the Georgia Bulldogs so far. 7-0. Early. And the kick goes to Boykin, who again goes down without a fight. 1:06 to play in the first quarter. So Georgia will line somebody behind center. Who's it going to be?
It's going to be Matt Stafford. He's coming out.
Stafford's in there. Matthew Stafford hands off to Marino. Up the middle, and he gets maybe a couple of yards. Got a yard. The ball's on the 32-yard line. What a game for the Bulldogs. Matthew Stafford back, but not the way they wanted it. Limited action, but he's behind center. Again, fakes to Marino. Stafford throws off the hands of an Alabama defender. And incomplete. Should have been intercepted. Ball's on the 32. 3rd and 9. Georgia having some quarterback issues in this one. Matthew Stafford is not in 100%, but he's behind center. Now he's in the shotgun. Rolling back wide, throwing deep downfield. Intended for Massaquoi, and he caught it. A beautiful throw down the right side, about 5 inches from the hash mark. And it was like melted butter. Just a smooth throw and smooth catch.
Yeah, not even a hitch in his throwing motion.
And that is an excellent throw by Stafford.
Yeah, Dog's got to be really careful. I mean, I don't know if he can take any big hits back there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be something to watch, and maybe see if absolutely he's not coming back for the game, Brody.
Well, he's out. Fractured elbow. He's not coming back.
He's out for the day. Stafford quiets the crowd down. Hands off to Marino, who fights his way to the left side for not much. He got a yard. Ball's on the 17-yard line. Second down 9. Dogs trying to add to their 7-0 lead. Stafford going to hand it to Marino. Marino in trouble in heavy traffic and goes backwards. He had a good start on that run, but crashed in on him. 3rd and 7. Ball's on the 15. Dogs trying to add to a 7-0 lead here in Athens. Matthew Stafford underneath. Drops back. Again going to Marino between the tackles, and Alabama says, not on my watch. And that'll bring up a 4th down. Georgia will most likely try a field goal. They're going to go for it. They're going to go for it. On the 15, 4th and 7. An injured Matthew Stafford. Drops back. In trouble. Throws in the end zone. Almost intercepted. Incomplete, and the Dogs come up empty. So a turnover on down. Or did he catch it in the end zone? Alabama's football. Georgia came up empty. Selma hands off to the tailback, and he's rocked as he tries to roll to his left side. Immediate pressure by that Bulldog front 4. Number 37 made the stop. That's a very mean bunch.
Absolutely, man. They just come at you all day.
Alabama and Selma. 2 in the backfield. Shotgun formation, 2 wideouts. Georgia moving around a lot in the defensive side and stunning. Selma reaches back and throws it. It's complete. Looks like it's the wide receiver. Hernandez makes the catch for a first down. The ball at the 34-yard line. That was a good play there by the quarterback. We haven't seen really anything about Alabama to get us excited so far. Selma underneath, throwing to the tight ends, incomplete. It'll be 2nd and 10. The ball is on the 34-yard line. It's 7-0 Georgia. Georgia came up empty on a red zone possession. 3:47 in the second quarter. Selma underneath. Dogs move people around in the backfield. They hand it to their tailback, Wiggins. He fumbled the football to and Georgia may have recovered. And they're going to take it down and all the way to the 27-yard line. It looked like he was feeding the chickens. He just threw that ball out there, didn't he?
Yeah, as he was running by, he wasn't holding possession of the ball securely and swiped it right out of his hand.
Georgia will take it. First down on the bout with a fumble. They give it to Moreno, who scoops out and gets 5. He's got 10. And into the secondary, the second layer, they knock him down. Nice run by Moreno. Georgia has been needing something like that. On the 12, 1st and 10. 2 wide outs. Stafford hands to Moreno. No, fakes. Throws down for the end zone. Touchdown! Now that was Massaquoi.
That's a classic combo right there. Run the ball for a nice chunk, play action.
It's funny how it works that way. Keep them guessing. Touchdown. Beautiful play. Isolated to man-on-man in the end zone. Not going to win that battle. Perfect throw.
Yeah, he saw his own coverage there, and he saw the soft zone. He had 2 receivers versus 1. He took the one underneath. To a nice ball right in the pocket. I think that does show the benefit of having a quarterback with a lot of experience, even if he isn't at 100%. Brody's an electric playmaker, but Stafford offers stability.
Oh yeah, that was a veteran play by Stafford, and the Dogs finally have a 2-score lead in this football game.
It's the first offensive touchdown of the day.
First offensive touchdown of the day. You're right, because they only scored on that Boykin return. Now the Dogs will kick off. Alabama will receive it, taken around the 10. He scoops up the middle lanes, and all of a sudden the whole army is on him somewhere around the 35. They put it on the 36.
I think the Dogs need to stay the nickel. They've had the most success with the nickel. They got a great front. It's solid against the run. They can afford to not have the extra linebacker, I think. Still win the physical battles. And the extra pass coverage really helps a lot.
Selma underneath. Stops, throws into coverage. Just like he may have caught it. So he just dropped back and jacked one to the left side there, and it'll be 2nd down 3 for Alabama.
Negative 14 yards rushing for the time.
Yeah, the rushing game has not been established. Again, hands to the tailback. Fumbles the football again.
Oh, Alabama falls on it. They get a first down. What a...
Well,
they gained 12 yards on that fumble.
Yeah, they gained 12 yards on the fumble. They had stopped the run. Again, he was feeding the chickens again, and this time Alabama got it. They might want to write that on their playbook. We can get a replay. Well, let's see if we can see that again, then we can let everybody know what really happened. A really crazy play. He hands off right there. He's bottled up. The ball's bouncing like a soccer match. Rolling.
There's 7 Georgia football players. Count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 versus 1, and somehow they let that guy fall on the football.
That's really amazing. Well, I guess Alabama dodged a bullet on that one. 1st down and 10. Not the traditional way to get a first down. Selma underneath. They have a power I formation. They give it to Wiggins, who's rolling sideways, but not forward. Trying to take it outside, and Georgia wouldn't give him the edge. Now that run there could be indicative of why Bama can't run. Did you see how he kept trying to spread that and never got a gap? Ball on the 45, 2nd and 6. Selma from the shotgun, 2 in the backfield, 2 wideouts. Georgia in a 4-man front. Selma slings it to his wide receiver on the left, the near side, and it's, I guess he caught it.
Loss of 4, though.
But he didn't gain much.
It's not what you want to dial up on 2nd and 6.
Kind of a bubble screen of sorts.
Yeah.
And it went backwards, as they often do. Ball on the 49, 3rd and 10. Selma drops back, looks, in trouble, and now I think he goes down. There's a flag on the play.
The holding on Alabama, that's going to be declined for sure. They'll take 4th and 14 on their own 47 versus 3rd and 20 every day.
A good time to hold if you're going to do it.
He got sacked anyway.
So that leads us to 4th down and 14.
Alabama with a little traction there, but
yeah, they had some glimmer of offense. Now they're going to punt the football for the 3rd time today. 4th time today. Number 97 will punt the ball for the Crimson Tide. 4th and 14, and couldn't get a first down. Now they snap it. Again, Boykin calls for the fair catch. So after one monstrous return, Boykin has been very timid and almost not a factor on the return game last 3 times. 1st and 10. Georgia will have the football.
Got 1:20 and a half. They got 3 timeouts, so they play aggressive. They do get the ball in the second half.
This would be a good time to put this game away. Stafford drops back, slinging it downfield to Musaqua. He's got it. Somewhere around the 35. Nice throw over the shoulder. Stafford makes it look easy. Place it on the 45. 1st and 10 again for the Dogs. Stafford from the shotgun, 24 Marino to his left. He's rolling, stops, throws to the tight end. Bounces off number 47. That's the Alabama safety. Incomplete. That's one of those throws where Stafford is glad it wasn't intercepted. Dogs on the 45. Marino in the power eye. Stafford underneath. And we got 2 wideouts, and Bama stunning back and forth. Stafford 3-step drop, slings to the wide receiver down around the 15, incomplete. Stafford has tried some throws that require some tight windows, and they simply haven't been open. I haven't seen Marino get the ball lately. Let's see what happens here. He's lined up in basically behind the center. Now he moves over in motion. Stafford, 3 steps, slings, throws, complete, down around the 20. Got loose, down to the 10. Musaqua kept moving.
Marino.
Oh, Marino, I'm sorry. Marino, that's why he was running. He ran into his left, and got open and ran like a receiver. You've got to get him into the passing game. Excellent play call by Georgia. Ball on the 12-yard line. 49 seconds. You talked about would they have time for a score? Well, they seemingly do. Stafford underneath. Marino behind him. Going to hand it to him. He's rolling to his right, squeezing, pushing, but doesn't get much. Down to about 5. He did get 6. 2nd and 4. 34 seconds in the play clock for the half. Stafford barking to the receivers, and somebody, 88, is in motion. Now he goes into the backfield. Hands it to Marino. Bounces off 2 men and shoves his way down to the 2. He has the first down. Watch the clock. Watch the time. 21 seconds and a half. The ball's on the 2-yard line, but they got a first down. Now this is where I think you would let Marino get this touchdown for you. But we'll see what the Bulldogs do. Stafford underneath. Marino and Wiggins in the backfield. He hands it to Marino. Bounces off 1, off 2, off 3, and still drives, and he still might have got in. Boy, that was a lot of ballroom dancing for half a yard. I thought he was going to get his body in. Didn't. Now it's 2nd down goal from the 1. Watch the clock, though. 4 seconds. Marino, and he got in, didn't he? Touchdown. Boy, that's what you call splitting hairs. 3 seconds left in the half, but Georgia adds to their lead right before the half. An exciting football game here in Athens. Alabama coming off a tough loss and having a tough time getting started as Georgia prepares to kick the extra point to make it 21-0, and it's good. And that would be as good a half as you could expect Georgia to have played in a game of this magnitude. 21-0.
Well, yeah, I mean, they had a nice break. They got the punt return, but then right after that, their quarterback goes down. But Stafford's done a great job coming in.
Could they give something?
It's holding.
It was holding on the point after, so now it's good. And it's now 21-0. I think Georgia had an amazing half considering they lost a quarterback, found a quarterback.
Well, I mean,
and missed him.
Lost the freshman quarterback in Matthew Stafford. However, injured, but he's been pretty good despite his injury. As we said, it's non-throwing arm.
But one bad move and he could get hurt. But they did pretty good considering the fact, Kyle, that they did not, they wasted that possession. They didn't score on the 15th. And still come up with 21 points in the half is pretty good. All right, so all the halftime proceedings are over, and now it's time for the third quarter. Georgia receives. Boykin, this time he's on his feet and rolling to his right, down the right side. Got a good return. It shoved him out of bounds. But he did get to the 40 and came close to breaking that one. Georgia on the 40-yard line. Stafford from the shotgun. Marino behind it. Hands it off. Fakes it to Marino. Stafford rolling and throwing deep downfield. Intended for number 37, Wiggins, and it's incomplete. Ball on the 40. Stafford underneath. Marino behind him. 2 wideouts. Alabama on the 5-4. Long count. Stafford in the drop back. Going to throw. Looking for the tight end. It's complete. No, Marino's got it. 5, 10. Marino's going to go all the way and score. What a rocket combination of Dan Marino and Matthew Stafford. It looked like he was going to get 6 or 7 yards, and then it all opened up.
Actually, almost intercepted. I think that's what happened was the Alabama defender went for the interception. Didn't get it.
There he goes, rolling and drifting.
So he put too much air on the ball.
Turns to his left and turns.
From here, he's wide open, right? And he's throwing the ball right now. And so, but he lost a lot of air under it. And that corner turns around.
Yeah, he saw the wobbly duck.
He's actually right in position to pick it. He just misses by a millimeter.
Yeah, he almost
tipped it a little bit. He tipped it a little bit, but Marino managed to catch the tip.
But that
was nobody behind him.
See, the guy that's in front of him could cover the play. He should have been staying behind him. Anyway, it's a great play for Georgia, and Marino in that passing game definitely is just something they should do more of. And did they block that extra point?
Almost did.
It's good. They got a piece of it. So now it's 28-0 Georgia. We've seen a little bit of everything today. Quarterback switches. We've seen a little bit of everything. Bama, the fumble-rooski, and now Bama has the football on the return. And they'll get it up to about the 27-yard line. 4:40 in the third quarter. Wow, that much time off. That's 28-0 Georgia. Commanding lead. Alabama will have lost 2 straight if they can't find a remedy to what's happening so far. Selmo stomps his foot, hands it off to Wiggins, fights his way for very little as that Georgia front 7 is very tough to get a run on. They got 3 yards. Second down 7, balls on the 30. Selma underneath, barking to his receivers. And throws. Looking for the throw for the tight end, incomplete. Well, the ball is on the 30-yard line. 3rd and 7 for Alabama. Selma comes up from a shotgun. They've got 2 wideouts and number 38's in the backfield. Georgia with 4 on the front, 3 in the back. Selma slings it to the wide receiver on those near side. And it looks like the Bama player is down. That would be Marshall, number 11. But did he catch the ball? He paid a price. We'll have to see, let you know what happens to him. So Bama lost a man. 1st and 10. 4 minutes to play. They're down 28-0. Selma from the shotgun. Georgia moving in the backfield on defense, and here they get crashed. The runner, he hands it off to Wiggins, and he crashed him before he got a step. Georgia was all over that run. Alabama knows they're going to have to run the football, and I don't think Georgia's going to let them.
Well, they really can't afford to run the ball too much more. Halfway through the third,
No.
down by 4 scores.
They're going to have to start seeing some big plays. From the shotgun, Selma, quick snap, looks, dumps it off to his running back, and he gets maybe a handful of yards.
No yards.
He got nothing. He caught it. He ran a handful of yards sideways. 3rd and 13 for Alabama. The Crimson Tide looked at as a favorite for the SEC.
Maxwell, 5 weeks, broken ankle.
Oh my goodness. So did you see that Maxwell's out for 5 weeks?
Intercepted by the Georgia Bulldogs.
We got it! Selma threw it to the wide receiver on the far side. Picked off by number 23, Danny Wexter. It could be that many Wiggins. 28-0. Oh, what a football game. Georgia has looked pretty good. Alabama is acting like they're still waiting for the hot dog. Stafford dropping back, throwing a monstrous bomb to Massaquoi down around the 18, and it bounces off his shoulder pad. 1-to-1 coverage. Usually Massaquoi wins at that time. The ball didn't cooperate. It's thrown a little high. 2nd and 10. Ball on the 28. Stafford underneath. Marino behind him. And Marino gets the ball. 5, 10, 15. Gets through the second layer down. He almost broke it. I thought he was going to break that. He swung in and got past one man, past another man, and then he went down. A good run by Marino. What a weapon he could be in an offense, the way he could catch the football. Underneath, Stafford, Marino behind him, and he's going to fake it to Marino, throw it down the middle, and intended for Harper. Caught. Did he catch it?
Did.
Caught it in the crowd. Stafford has come in and kept this Bulldog game going. That was a good throw. Ball's on the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for Georgia. 2:24 in the third quarter. Stafford will be underneath. Marino's behind him. Hands it off to Marino. He's got 5. He's got 10. He keeps moving. Keeps his leg moving down to about the 9 or maybe the 12. He got 13 yards. Again, he looked like he was going to break that thing. Every time Marino gets that football, a lot of things happen. Great run by Marino. You said they had to start using him to save Stafford, and so far it's working. Stafford dropping back, rolling, spins, throws, bounces, and bounces that pass a little hard, incomplete. Stafford has a really, really hard throw, but we had trouble on the 15, you remember earlier. Dogs seem to have trouble in this part of the field. Gives it to Marino, who is not hard as he goes on his run. There's a flag. Somebody was holding. Holding on the play. Well, I guess if you're going to have a busted play, you might as well hold. Ball on the 29. 2nd and 20. Marino, Stafford, throwing. to Boykin, who plays offense and defense. So like somebody be stepping all over him. Matthew Stafford was playing not at 100%. You can tell sometimes with those throws he seems a little stiff. Stafford again, throwing again. This time it's picked off by number 13, Colbert for Alabama. And another scoring opportunity for Georgia has vanished. That could help Alabama. They're only down 28-0. And that would have been the death blow had he got a touchdown in that possession. So Bama may have saved themselves, even though they're far from being out of the one. 29-yard line. Alabama. Selma underneath. 29, Harper, the running back. Selma is going to throw it, and it bounces like a shortstop. Incomplete. And so, a minute 23 in the third quarter. 28-0 Georgia leading Alabama. And they are staring at their second loss in the conference. Selma underneath. Three-step drop and throws it right and picked off. There was nobody there but the Georgia defender. He threw it only where he was. Number 5, interception. So the 2 straight interceptions. Now Georgia has the football. On the 43-yard line, 1st and 10. There's a minute 17 the third quarter. They give it to Marino, who slashes his way for a few. Well, he didn't actually get anything. He lost 2. Minute 5, third quarter, 2nd and 12. And Matthew Stafford, the quarterback for Georgia, with a long count. 3 steps out. Now he's running back, throwing the Boykin, who's in the offensive side, lined up. Got it. There's a lot of dual weapons on this Georgia team. Marino and Boykin are just 2 outstanding athletes who can do all kinds of things. Stafford, this is to Marino. Marino fights his way for 5, 6, 7, maybe 9. Driving right up the middle. The first down. 26 seconds in the third quarter. 45 is the yard line. Again, Marino slashes his way on the right side in heavy traffic. .42. 28-0 Georgia. Again, no, he fakes it to Marino. Now we're going to Stafford throwing it down near the sideline. That looks like Massaquoi again with that catch. And that will do it for the third quarter. A much anticipated football game, but it has gone mostly the Georgia's way in this game. Far from a perfect game, and the sensational freshman standout Jalen Brody injured for 1 game at least. Matthew Stafford is filled in admirably, despite having a shoulder injury on his non-throwing shoulder. Stafford, this time they sack him hard.
He's fine. He landed on that left shoulder. That is not what you want to see.
Well, that's what we were looking at, is how was he going to fall when they brought him down. The price you pay. Now, with the game and the situation it's in, I'm surprised we haven't maybe seen another one. But Matthew Stafford is still playing. The game seems to be in hand. Georgia, 2 wide out, Stafford down the middle. And off the hands of the Alabama defender. He almost intercepted it. It does seem like he's really tight with his mechanics, and the shoulder probably having something to do with that. Marino in the backfield, shotgun formation, and Stafford throws near side, incomplete. So Georgia facing another 4th and 20. They've had quite a few of those long 3rd and 4th down. They'll punt the football. It's a good one. They're going to try to field goal. Let's see. I thought the punting thing, they're going to try to field goal. And the field goal is good. And Alabama now trails Georgia 31-0. First field goal tonight. Maybe they should have tried one earlier when they missed that possession down deep. Ball's on the 28-yard line. Alabama trying to come back in a football game that they have not been in. Selma in trouble, and they bring him down. That Georgia pass rush shows off there. Number 55, they're going to stop for Georgia. And Selma goes down. They'll mark it on the 21-yard line. 2nd and 17 for the Crimson Tide. Benjamin Selma lines up underneath. Hawkins in the backfield for Alabama. They're going to throw it to the far side, incomplete. $31-0 Georgia. 3:52 to play in the 4th quarter. Selma bunts to his receivers and drops back. He's going to throw, looking far side down on 28, and he calls. Number 27, Benjamin Steiny got it for Alabama. On the 27, clock is moving. 3:32, 3:31. 31-0 Georgia. They're going to punt it. You don't want to punt this late in the game when you're down that much. I'm surprised they didn't just go for it. Is that a white flag? So we'll be back in just a moment. So far, it's been all Georgia here in Athens. Alabama had an unexpected loss to Arkansas last week, and now Georgia. And suddenly, it's a completely different season for the Alabama Crimson Tide, unless they can find some way to change a lot of things quickly.
They're going to send in the sophomore Joe Cox. Looks like he's going to finish this one.
So Joe Cox will come in for Georgia as quarterback. Probably a good move. Cox is immediately sacked behind, dropped him for a huge loss, and now Cox is down.
So Stafford's going to go back.
Well, Stafford's got to come back out. Do they have anybody else? I mean, will we have Boykin quarterbacking? Unbelievable. You bring Cox in, he gets sacked and hurt. Oh, man. So now Matthew Stafford back in. 2:57 to play in the game. And they're going to hand it to Marino, who darts his way for 5-10 and swings into the second layer for a huge gain. Near the 50-yard line. Marino just came out there running downhill and just swooped in for a large gain. First down, Georgia. Marino, high formation. Again, they go to Marino. He scoops right up the middle for a few. You can send Marino up the middle like that and get 4. I guess you could do it all day. Stafford underneath. And this time they give it to Marino, but he's stopped behind the line. Alabama said, well, we're not going to do that again. And that was shot by number 96. Just punched him like a boxer. Well, they say you can kill an alligator that way or push him back or a shark. That's what he did. He just punched him on his nose. Huh? Ball on the 48. 2 minutes to play in the game. 2:06. Georgia leading 31-0. And we're playing musical quarterbacks. I guess it's Matthew Stafford again. Drops back. Throwing. Complete. Over the middle. Nice throw. Ball on the 36. Clock, 1:44. Marino gets the call. Bounces off 2 men and slides up for a little more. Chewing up some clock.
They don't even call a timeout. That's pretty much done.
Yeah, they're ready to go home. They had a tough day. 1:24 and the clock moving on the 31. And again, they're going to hand it to Marino, who powers his way for a few more, a couple of 3 yards. It's going to be 3rd and 2. 1:11 to play on the 28-yard line. And the home crowd here in Sanford Stadium has begun to foul out. Again, they give it to Marino off the tackles, and more clock disappears. 58 seconds, and it looked like somebody may have called time. Georgia with 4th and 2, and they will be going for it.
No Cox to return to the game.
Cox back in. Not hurt now. This time he hands it to, no, he fakes it, and
maybe he should have stayed out.
And he threw it to an Alabama defender who couldn't catch it. Or did he? Almost intercepted. And that only took up a second. I could think of better productive football than that. So Bama gets the ball back. 54 seconds. Selma slings it in a bubble screen, and it doesn't bubble too much. Get a couple yards. 31-yard line. 49 seconds to play in the football game. Alabama and Georgia. So for Georgia, it's a very good outing. The opportunity for national championship is very much alive as Alabama hands it to the tailback who gets smashed.
Why would you run the ball and then call a timeout?
I don't know. The ball's on the 31, 46 seconds, and it doesn't seem like it's going to take a lot to make that clock move. The game is effectively over. And Alabama trying to get on the board, perhaps, at least. Runner in the backfield, 1, and Selma is mobbed by a gang of Bulldogs as he goes down. And that should eat up some clock. That play was surrounded by Bulldogs. 4th and 13 for Alabama with 31 seconds to play in the football game. And once again, they will have to punt the football. Number 97. Leg is not clamped yet. Boykin calling for the fair catch on the 25. 18 seconds left to play in the game. I wonder who Georgia's going to throw in the quarterback. Is it Cox? Yes. So Joe Cox will get his 3rd snap. Hands it to Marino. Marino is bottled up. Loss of 3. That's the one thing about Marino. Once you really try to use him as an every down back, his effectiveness wanes. He's a really good weapon, but Georgia needs a big back. A different kind of back with power. He's not that kind of running back. Is that going to do it? I think that's the ball game as everybody is shaking hands. Georgia the winner. They have defeated the Crimson Tide 31-0 here in Athens, Georgia. And Alabama hangs their head for the 2nd loss in a row. Georgia excited. You can see Marino dancing as they go into the tunnel. A very good outing for these Georgia Bulldogs as they have aspirations of not only winning the SEC, but of winning a national championship. And certainly they look like that today.